Kazakhstan has supported the United Nations Convention on Mediation. Experts said that this document will resolve international commercial disputes. The convention provides the cross-border compliance of agreements resulting from mediation. Experts highlighted that mediation is becoming an increasingly popular tool for effective and peaceful resolution of commercial disputes. The method helps parties to reach a mutually beneficial solution.
Несколько лет представители всех стран обсуждали тексты.
Representative countries have been discussing the text of this convention for several years. The text was approved last year at the UN Assembly. Now it's officially signed. It can be signed by other countries as well. This convention provides more mechanisms for the peaceful settlement of commercial disputes, including related to investments. Livestock is a very promising industry in Kazakhstan. Stable demand for products is maintained both in foreign and domestic markets. Moreover, today, domestic meat producers cover 100% of the needs of Kazakhstan. In one of Kostanay region, more than 600 farms are involved in livestock breeding. Cows of the Olyakul local breed have a high genetic value. Farmers of the Commonwealth of Independent States appreciate the Kazakh pedigree cattle. Their fatness and nutrition are good. We give a mix of grains, specifically crushed grain and oats. We feed them 3 times a day. We give hay, water and poika. We do everything that is necessary to maintain the weight of the cattle. Russian farmers are arriving at local farms in order to purchase the breeding cattle. Some of the cattle are taken from feedlots. The local breed is famous for having marble meat. Therefore, volumes of exports are increasing. We have done the task. This year, we have to supply 1,750 heads of cattle for further fattening and realization of exporting. There are nearly 76,000 heads of breeding cattle in the region. The numbers are growing every year, including at the expense of the Sabara state program. This year, the country intends to import approximately 3,000 heads of cattle. Last year, we imported 2,000 heads of breeding cattle. This year, almost 500 heads have been imported. By the end of the year, we plan to bring in 3,750 heads. The share of breeding stock is increased with the help of breed transformation. The share of breeding stock in the region is increased with the help of breed transformation. The state program involves more than 60,000 breeding stocks. Central Asian countries and China are increasing the volume of trade. The transit potential of the region also contributes to the increase in trade activity. Experts said that the container transport will significantly help increase the economic cooperation between the western regions of China and Central Asian republics. China has recently launched the Xi'an-Bishkek railway route. The route will help reduce the delivery time of goods from 10 to 7 days. The train route covers almost 4,000 kilometers. The freight train delivers a wide range of industrial and consumer goods, from clothing to machinery, to the capital of Kyrgyzstan. The logistics will also lower the cost of transporting a standard container by more than $700. The Xi'an administration and the Bishkek Free Economic Zone have agreed in June to work on opportunities to increase trade between China and Kyrgyzstan. In addition, the goods will also be supplied from other regions of China to Central Asia along the new railway line. There is a tourism boom in Tajikistan. Tourist police stations have been opened in the country in order to provide support to foreign visitors. The stations were opened in Dushanbe, Hisa Fortress, and the mountainous Pamirs. In addition to the station support, employees from specialized departments are involved in escorting large companies. 30 groups were brought to the east of the country, to the mountain peaks of the Pamirs.
Мы встречались с туристами из Китая.
We met with tourists from China, the United States, Belgium, Canada, the country that is favorable for a large number of foreigners to come here, and accordingly they need help. So, the work of the tourist police is absolutely necessary.
Так и иная помощь.
Meanwhile, it's not easy to qualify to become a tourist police. The candidate needs to have a legal education and knowledge of at least 2 foreign languages, namely Russian and English. It's also important to be friendly and psychologically stable. The tourists are excited as the tourist police offer legal assistance, advice on traveled routes, and they also provide free water and SIM cards with internet. During the patrol, they found a portable wallet where there were 2 bank cards, 7,000 somoni and in Russian currency 11,000 rubles. They found the owner of these cards. Another tourist police stations were opened at the Tajik-Uzbek border. The trade and tourism activities between the 2 countries began to develop actively following the meeting of the heads of states. Kazakhstan is developing eco and ethno-tourism, which will enable tourists to visit the untouched corners of nature, to live in a yurt, to make a horse trekking, or to participate in hunting with eagles and hunting dogs, taza. There are also opportunities to experience the lifestyle of a nomad and immerse into authentic atmosphere of nomads of the past. This is a journey of a whole new level, experts said. Foreign visitors have shown keen interest. Nearly 8.5 million tourists visited the country in 2018. This is 10% higher than the figure recorded last year. Most of the travelers arrive from Russia, Germany, France, Poland, Malaysia, South Korea and India.
Те страны, с которыми у нас есть либо безвизовый режим.
Those countries with which we have either a visa-free program or direct flights, all of them are somehow interested in Kazakhstan, especially after such a large-scale campaign to promote Kazakhstan within the Astana Expo 2017. In the end of May, the state program for tourism development was adopted. This program provides a solution for several tasks, both in terms of infrastructure as well as promotion and development of tourism in national parks. In addition, this year, direct flights to India and Azerbaijan will be launched. Work is continued to launch flights to the United States and Japan. Experts said that this will also contribute to the influx of tourists. Kazakhstan, being a center of the region, is a point of attraction of business people and travelers. The Great Silk Road is of special interest. The tourists are attracted by the opportunity of walking in the footsteps of the ancient caravan routes and witnessing various cultural and architectural sites.
Казахстан сейчас также известен как частичка шелкового пути.
Kazakhstan is widely known as part of the Silk Road. There are a lot of monuments on the territory of southern Kazakhstan. Many of the monuments are included in the UNESCO World Heritage List. Foreign tourists know about it and want to visit Kazakhstan and the neighboring countries. Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan intend to introduce a joint Silk Road visa in order to deepen integration processes and increase the tourism potential. Other states in the region are also interested in this project, particularly Tajikistan. Kazakhstan is actively developing all types of tourism, including business, cultural, educational, medical, environmental, and mountain. Many travelers visit the country in order to conquer the peaks of high mountain ranges. One of the mountains is the Han Tengri. The peak is located in Almaty region. Last year, 10,000 tourists visited the mountain. They are attracted by the incredible beauty of nature and crystal clear air. It's beautiful here. It looks like Switzerland. We drink warm saumal to strengthen our immune system. There are people from South Korea and Italy who come here too, besides other regions. Currently, up to 30 to 35 people come to our district every day. Compared to last year, we can see the increased flow of tourists. The region intends to develop mountain tourism more intensively. Investors are already working by starting to build new places of recreation. A highway being built between the regional center of Narınköl and the recreation area. The construction began in May and will be completed next year. Overhaul of the road 28 kilometers. Here we have 33 drainage facilities, 7 meters width of the road, 1.5 meters of the roadside fortified, plus reclamation. We do these types of work. A center of equestrian sports and greenhouse complexes will be built in order to attract more tourists to the region. A trout farm was recently opened here. Such centers always attract the interest of tourists. Meanwhile, in Almaty region, full-scale work is underway to create a tourism cluster. All of the stakeholders, which includes local authorities and business people, intend to modernize the infrastructure, expand the range of tourism products, and improve services. The House Museum of the Great Scientist of the East, Al-Farabi, is opened in Istanbul. The project was implemented by the Kazakh National University and the Istanbul Mayor's Office with support of the Turkic Consul, Turksoy, and the Embassy of Kazakhstan in Turkey. The opening was timed to the celebration of the 1150th anniversary of the scientist. Next year, the anniversary date will be celebrated under the auspices of UNESCO. The opening of the Al-Farabi Museum House is an important milestone in popularization of Kazakhstan's culture through the unique heritage of the great son of the Great Steppe, who played an invaluable role in historical development of all human civilization. Al-Farabi described what an urban person should be, as well as what an ideal society and humanity should look like in the future. He scientifically described all this in his writings. I hope that the spiritual heritage of Al-Farabi will glorify our nation, culture, and the spiritual world in the international arena. The great scientist Al-Farabi should be known not only in the East, but also in the West. He is the pride of both the Turkic world and all mankind. Our duty is to convey and preserve his works for future generations. Al-Farabi's spiritual heritage covers almost all areas of science, mathematics, philology, chemistry, biology, astronomy, philosophy, and others. His research had an impact on further development of world scientific thought. The works of the scientist, historical artifacts, books about the philosopher, and sculptural composition are presented in the new House Museum. Museum visitors can also access information about the life and work of the great Turkic philosopher. Al-Farabi has a special place in my life. In Turkey, I am going to film a movie about the great philosopher. I think that the presented exhibits and information about his biography will help me recreate a reliable picture of the biography, life, and scientific discoveries of the outstanding scientist of the East. The Al-Farabi House Museum is open to public. An interesting excursion program and a special educational and informative class are developed for residents and visitors of the city. The best samples of the Kazakh decorative and applied art, the patterns of the Great Steppe exhibition opened in the State Museum of Arts named after Kasteyev in Almaty. Exhibits from the museum's funds are presented here, which includes embroidered tuskize carpets, as well as embroidered belts, which were an indispensable attribute of women's and men's traditional costumes. Among the Kazakh people, embroidery was also considered a special kind of art, which was highly appreciated and admired. Open-work patterns adorned clothes, carpets, and ribbons for decorating yurts. The top of the craftsmanship was considered to be gold embroidery.
Кесте өнері жалпы ежелден келе жатқан өнердің бір түрі, әйел адамдардың айналысатын ең өнері.
The art of embroidery came to us from ancient time. It was the main occupation of women. The embroidery itself was divided into different types, which includes the chain stitch that are popular among the Kazakhs and also stitch embroidery called baspa. Until now, our craftswomen embroider their products in this way. They also embroider clothes and bedding besides carpets.
Киімдерінде төсек жапқыштар, басқа да үй тұрмысында қолданатын.
A special importance was the embroidery on clothes. Men's suit, trousers were indicative in this respect, which were embroidered with colored threads. Belts, both leather and fabric, are also decorated with ornaments and silver plates.
Сама вот эта техника блокировки, штамповки, она
This
была...
technique itself, the plating and stamping, it has been known since ancient times. If we take the golden man and all the elements of his costume, we can see that gold is mainly used. But in this technique of plating, casting is preserved in the folk arts and crafts of the Kazakhs, but only folk craftsmen use silver.
В прикладном искусстве казахов, но только народные мастера используют серебро.
Embroidered patterns of the Kazakh people had a symbolic meaning of amulet, good wishes and parting words. In these ornamental motifs, one can feel the real spirit of the Great Steppe. As the organizers of the exhibition say, these masterpieces of folk applied art were created by more than one generation of talented artists who managed to display the main thing, the beauty of the world. The patterns of the Great Steppe exhibition will last until the end of August. The Peaks of Asia International Exhibition has been opened in Kazakhstan's capital. This is the offers project of artists such as Nazira Jenishpekova, Gulya Boz and Bibigul Smakova. The organizers said that the exposition is essentially a creative reportage on a trip to Kyrgyzstan, specifically the southern coast of Issyk-Kul.
В нашем проекте участвуют художники.
Our project involves artists from two fraternal nations, Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan. From July 1st to 6th, we went on a tour of an open-air project to paint at the southern coast of Issyk-Kul. We worked there creatively, and now, a month later, this is a result of our open-air project.
Последние 5 лет, наверное.
In the last 5 years, I came back to creativity and worked hard. Thanks to Peaks of Asia, I began to work actively, travel and participate in all activities. My life has changed significantly. After the exhibition in the capital, the Eurasian Creative Guild plans to tour to Minsk, where Peaks of Asia will reveal all the unique beauty for residents of Belarus. One of the symbols of Central Asia is the hard and proud tulpars. From time immemorial, nomads have valued and cherished horses. Today, the ambling gait is an integral part of the culture of people from the region. Therefore, it's not surprising that horse riding specialists were always highly regarded. Dressing up a horse is not an easy task, says a master from Kyrgyzstan. He creates handmade saddles. His clients are both local horses breeders and horse racing enthusiasts from abroad. For example, a leather saddle by Alexander Mikhailov was sold to a customer, a Malaysian billionaire.
Для меня это, во-первых, как бы и гордость, то есть опять же там нету там какой-либо цели там сверх какие-то.
For me, it's pride. We are not aiming to over-earn, but the fact that I can say is that somewhere far away, someone is using my products, and it brings them joy, which then helps me to do the work. This warms my soul.
Их выручает, помогает выполнять свою работу. Для меня это греет душу.
A handmade saddle is not a cheap product. Alexander has no identical products. Everything, from design to the last stitch, is done by himself, taking into account the wishes of his client. Regardless of what the master creates, he always adds elements of national motif to it.
Кто-то, допустим, подбирает себе рисунок орла.
People pick up a drawing of an eagle, a golden eagle, or a wolf. Someone asks for an image of a horse or a mustang. For example, we sent a saddle on which we drew an angry bear with marks from its paws to Surgut.
Носили рисунок медведь разъяренный, там на подсумках были такие отметки от лап.
Alexander's saddles are also used in the cinema. This one has served a studio for 15 years. It has been shown in hundreds of movies of Kyrgyz directors. Then it was donated to a circus. The work process is very laborious. It takes from 2 weeks to a month. However, Alexander says that there is nothing more inspiring than to know that his work is in demand and popular among horse breeders from different countries.